Hi guys! So I'm so happy to be filming right now. There's been a lot of changes in the last week or so. I think, longer than a week. But I'm back today with a SP video about how to get rid of the third party, okay? And this was something that was requested of me, and there's been just so many changes in my life. I'll go into that in another video, but a lot of the things that I was creating for myself finally came to fruition. And you know, when you're not quite ready or believing something yet and it comes in, it can be quite shocking. So not that I'm upset at all, it's just been some adjustments, some things I've been going through. But this video is going to be about just how I was able to get rid of a third party in approximately a week. I think it was not even 7 days. Like, it was Monday through Friday. Like, it was just 5 days it took me. So, and again, I was not perfect. This whole thing, you'll see what I did. I'm going to give you some suggestions as well, like for what you can do. But I'm going to literally go step by step and tell you exactly what I did to get rid of a third party. Now, I want to put this caveat in there. This does not mean that that person will automatically choose you, right? Because you could have other beliefs that are in there that make it hard for them to choose you, you know, like being unwanted or feeling not good enough, things like that, right? Which was exactly what happened to me. Like, just because I got rid of a third party didn't mean that all of a sudden everything was, you know, perfect and hunky-dory and all awesome and things went exactly as planned, right? There was still other things I needed to work on, but this will help you get rid of the third party. So before we get started, I have one very, very important question for you guys, and it would help me out a lot if you would honestly answer this question for me, because I've been quite stuck as to whether to start a new channel or put the stuff on this channel. And I've already filmed the videos, so I can be very clear with you guys. These videos are going to be about brain health. They are what I feed her for her brain health, what I feed myself for my brain health, why I quit coffee and why it helped me with my hormones and brain health and all of that stuff. And the reason why I've been grappling with it and going back and forth is because a lot of you guys, especially if you're trying to live in the end, would be interested in this stuff. It's just up-leveling stuff, and everything has to do with manifesting, right? Because we're manifesting all the time. So the fact that if you fix your hormones, or you feel more even-keeled, or you're emotionally more stable because of things you're eating or things you're doing, it can all affect manifesting. And so those are my arguments, or my reasons, I would say, for putting those videos here, because it all is going to help you, right? It's all going to help you be a more up-leveled, more well-rounded person. And the other reason is because if, you know, me being me, just me looking at content, I would want to see someone who's consciously creating their life and what decisions they're making. But I want you guys to honestly answer me and not just sugarcoat and say, yeah, I'm gonna watch it, and then not watch it, because it can really mess up the algorithm of the channel. And it'll also make the videos so that they don't get to the people who would really want to see them, like if they're really health-minded people and they really want to see that kind of content. So I just wanted to give you like a complete and full kind of breakdown of the new content that I want to produce and that really excites me to produce, so that you can make a decision. And if you guys are not going to watch it, just please be honest with me and just say you're not going to watch it, and then I will start another channel for that kind of stuff, because that stuff is very inspiring and exciting for me to talk about. So either way, if only a few people are going to watch it, then I will be starting another channel. But I do think it's related, and I think if anyone wants to live in the end, it's a perfect way to live in the end. Because, right, if you were living in the end and you had everything and you were amazing and doing perfectly and living your dream life, wouldn't you want to watch interesting videos? Wouldn't you just want to be watching inspiring content? You know what I mean? So please give that a thorough thought. It's one of the things I've just never really asked anything of you guys, but it's really going to help me out if you guys will answer that question honestly. If I should put that stuff here, of course I would still be doing specific manifestation content as well, but I want to be including that kind of brain health, all the stuff that I do, decisions I'm making. I mean, this channel is called Radical Decider, right? So I just want to include, you know, lifestyle stuff and things like that. So
So please let me know. Please give me an honest answer if you will be watching that stuff. If not, it's not a big deal. I will be starting another channel. It'd just be more, I would be able to produce more videos, over here if you guys want to see that stuff, because I'll be still doing the manifesting stuff and then I'll add those in. So anyway, all right. Please let me know down below. I really appreciate it. All of your contributions and all of your feedback will be really helpful. So anyway, let's get started. So this video is about how I got rid of a third party in 1 week, 5 days to be exact. And so we'll start out, and if you haven't seen the previous 2 videos, definitely watch those, because they're kind of like the prelude to this one, right? Both of them, kind of leading up, explaining the situation. I explained how I knew I wanted that person back, and then some other things about it. So I also explained why I got ghosted and how not to get ghosted, right? Those are those videos. So anyway, what I did, so I'm going to start from where I left off. So I basically found out that there was a third party. Remember, if you did watch the other video, it was just me calling and being like, hey, let's hang out. And I found out that they were living together, and I was really devastated. And I did have a full, thorough cry, right? Like, I definitely cried it out. I was very, I allowed myself to feel every single emotion. I wasn't holding anything in. I definitely questioned manifesting. I questioned whether, sorry about that, guys. So I was questioning whether this whole thing even works, if I'm even doing anything right, if I even know what conscious creating really is. I was questioning everything. I was questioning the connection I had with this person. I was questioning whether or not I was strong enough to even do this, or if I should just go back to living my other life and being oblivious, right? Which I really couldn't do at that point, because I had already known that I'm creating this stuff, So I really couldn't do that, but I definitely questioned pretty much everything, my role in this, if this was even meant for me, because it's something that I wanted and it didn't look like it was going to turn out, right? So I had a lot of questions, a lot of doubts, and I basically cried them all out. I wasn't afraid to feel them all. And I kind of was hysterical for a day or two, basically. I cried for a whole day. And then the next day I was kind of like in a cloud, wasn't really thinking straight. I was not really affirming that much at all. This was Tuesday. So basically I found out on Sunday, cried till Monday. And then Tuesday I was kind of like trying to collect myself, but really wasn't finding the way or getting a grip, really. I was just still kind of in a cloud, kind of thinking about everything, trying to figure out if I even wanted this thing, right? And then I finally was like, okay, you know what? I had a moment of acceptance, okay? And this is just my journey, and I'm just telling you exactly what I did to produce results on Friday, and he literally called me on Friday and asked me to come over. Now I wouldn't have gone over the person I am now, right? I feel like that was like a desperate move for me to go over there, but this happened in a matter of days, and that's why I'm explaining it step by step. So I had a moment of acceptance. I literally was like, okay, well, this is the scenario, and I basically broke it down for myself, and I said, I've got 2 choices. I can either go along with this or stick to what I thought, like stick to what I've been thinking for months, right? Because I was away, and if you listen to the previous videos, I was dreaming about it. I was daydreaming about it. I was visualizing us being together again, right? So I came back with such high hopes. I could either ditch it and drop it all and be like, all right, well, it failed. He's doing something else, or I could just stick to what I said, right? So I just literally made a decision. I was like, I'm going to stick to what I said. I'm just going to do this. I don't believe it. First of all, I didn't believe it. I did not feel like this even is going to work, right? Because I kind of felt like I had already failed. So I was feeling the feelings of failure as well throughout this process, right? And so I accepted that I may fail. I wasn't and I think I wasn't steadfast is what I was going to say, but I think that actually gave me a way out. You know, it almost gave me more relaxation around the goal that I had, which was to be with that person, right? So I kind of just was like, well, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And I just kept repeating what I wanted, right? And I went back to my visuals as much as I could. Now, I wasn't perfect. I didn't, you know, there was no part of me that was sticking to my end, right? Because I was so distraught at times, right? And I cried throughout this whole process. And I'm explaining this so thoroughly for you guys, so you know you don't have to be perfect. You can literally try your best, right? And that's all that I was doing as well. And I was definitely still crying, still having doubts, still feeling very lost and forgotten and neglected. And, you know, I was trying to be as nurturing as I could to myself, but I was still feeling pretty low and pretty down about myself in this particular situation, of course, because I thought I knew what was going to happen when I got home, and the opposite happened, right? Like, I really did feel like the opposite of what I wanted happened, right? So, but I stuck to what I wanted. I said, I'm together with him. I'm in the best relationship of my life. And I kept saying that, even through the tears, even through feeling really bad. And to be honest, I don't know that I expected it to work. Like, I was maybe on the fence about that, right? I didn't have faith. I didn't have full faith in it at all, quite honestly. Because I had never at that point had to get rid of a third party. I'd never been faced with this scenario before. So I just literally stuck to what I was doing, and I had as many doubts as you all probably have, and maybe even more. You know, I was really doubtful. And let me just see if I'm saying everything that I did. So that was basically it. I was not perfect by any means. I cried a lot. I felt all my feelings. I felt like I was not valuable. I felt all of my inner the self-concept and just the self-hatred, almost not hatred, but just all those little things kind of came bubbling to the surface, all the stuff that was really needing me to look at it, right? And that's another thing I would say, is not be scared of looking at all these things that are coming to the surface, because a lot of times your emotions just need to be released, you know. And for me, that was a big deal, like releasing and allowing myself to feel all of these insecurities is the word I was looking for. All of these insecurities that I was having that were coming up because of this scenario was really getting me to like almost purge all of these emotions and helping me to release them all just by thinking of them, right? So I allowed myself to do that through this whole process, and I just stuck to what I said, you know. And what I did with the scenario when I found out is I fully blocked it out. I forgot to say that part, but I completely blocked out the fact that he had told me anything. Like, and I'm pretty stubborn, so I can do that, and it's quite I wouldn't say it's easy, especially when something's emotional for me and very strong, you know, strong for me as an emotional pull towards something. But I did it the best I could, right? And sometimes I was thinking about it, and other times I would just be ignoring it. But that was the decision I made, right? And what I wanted to say was, this is probably the most important part of this whole scenario, along with persistence and returning back to, you know, believing what you want to believe, right? The most important part is actually deciding on what you're making it, right? Deciding on something that you're going to turn it into, right? Like, for example, if you see them in a photograph, you know, and it depends on you too, right? And your beliefs and your feelings within you, right? You need to know what you can get your head around and what's going to be easy for you to, you know, grasp and stick to, right? So I'll give you some examples. So if you see a photo of them together, you can say, for example, you can say that's his coworker, or that's his cousin, or that's his friend was in town, you know, and then they were like, you know, buddy holding hands, or like maybe not holding hands, but, you know, if they're like, you know, arm in arm or something like that, they're just buddies, right? Or you can, if someone has told you that, you can say, oh, that's
fake news, or they didn't know what they were talking about, right? So you can make up these scenarios in your head to help you stay in your end, right? And it's going to depend on your exact scenario. And I'm just giving you some examples because I've worked with people and also helped people in my, coached people, and also helped people in my real life deal with this kind of scenario. And depending on what they saw with their eyes, or what they, what someone told them, they can make up something that helps them believe that it's not true, or it was a cousin, or it was a coworker, or it was fake news, or someone was just kidding, right? Or even you could make up that your SP was kidding, right, when they told you, just to make you feel jealous, or just to evoke feelings from you, right? You could literally make up any scenario you want, but you want to stick to it. It's almost like revision, right? I mean, it is revision, but it's a form of revision. Just picking the scenario that you're going to choose that best serves you, and then going with that. And the scenario that I chose was just ignorance. Just ignorance is bliss, complete ignoring it. And for the most part, I was not steady on that, right? And this goes to show, because I still got my manifestation on that Friday, right? It was literally 5 days later that he called me and he was like, hey, do you want to come over? And I was like, oh, I thought you were with someone. He was like, nope. It was just literally like that week. So, but I want to say that it's the thing that helps you is what you got to decide on, right? And so, and you don't have to be perfect, right? I was not perfect up until the day that I got the phone call, right? I was literally crying that whole time. So, I think those are the two keys, is just let your emotions out, not trying to be perfect, taking care of yourself and nurturing yourself as much as you can. Like, I wasn't really good at that time yet. But now I'm definitely much better at it. And then also, sticking to a story that works for you. Like I said, if you see them in a photo, oh, that's a cousin, instead of what you think it might be, right? And a lot of these times you're just thinking up things that things might be, right? Because you're using your negative feelings to give you thoughts, right? But it's a good idea just to set up a new scenario in your head, something that you can keep returning to, and keep telling yourself there's a different thing going on, right? And that's basically all I did, you guys. Please let me know if there's any other questions you guys have. If you love this video, let me know. Thumbs me up. And please let me know about my question at the beginning, if you would want those videos on this channel, or if I should start another channel. And I love you guys. I'm happy to be back. I'm going to be making lots more videos. If you guys have any ideas and suggestions, let me know. If you love Neville and you love changing your life and you love transformation and my unique perspective, stick around. I love to have you guys.